Templar Assassin was doing fairly well in the mid lane. She caught up fairly well after the Disruptor was bothering her a bunch. Now
I'm going to go for him here. He will get the static beam started onto Miracle, and that will put them up from finishing off the kill, as Lelis will be fine. Healed a bit by the mist coil as well. But also having to be careful. Obviously, he does go for the point in the passive in this lane. GH will look to trip him up with that, with the Spike Carapace time and time again. So Lelis, it's got to be a little on edge. Obviously, having the Abaddon backup is really nice for him. Those sort of burst heals and shields will make it still pretty hard for Liquid to get a kill on him.
Yeah, unfortunately, 444 is consistently running out of mana. He has actually more HP than he wants. He wants to be able to get himself into deny range. Keeps using his stick, so making sure that Razor has some sustain in his lane. But, I mean, Morphling's more than pleased with how he's going. He's 19-9 right now against Razor's 8-2.
Yeah, Lelis pretty much having as bad of a time as Mind Control is up top. Both of these side laners feeling the pressure with the combinations being put against them. Another attempt towards Lelis. Spike Carapace and stun, both going to be missed there by GH. And with that in mind, Lelis can try and turn. He's stealing a lot of damage. He knows that he can get some of these kills. He can almost certainly get GH if he can keep vision, as he'll run him down. Fairy Fire will keep GH alive for now. He needs one more right click. Miracle's blocking him off. GH will turn. Two-man stun holds them away. Miracle can now try and turn and get some kills in response, but the Photic Shield is up once more. GH walks back in. He gives up first blood, as Pain will kill him off. A mistake there from GH, as the gold will flow the way of the Razor.
This is the Abaddon factor. Dude denied himself, came back to lane with full HP, full mana. Lelis was fully aware of what this Abaddon was capable of, and I don't blame Miracle for going back in, but Nyx Assassin did not have very much to offer. If his Carapace had been up and he had been able to get that Plasma Field Reflect, he would have died on the way whenever it comes back in. So him going back in to try to stop something, not the best maneuver, but at least he also gets to come back to the lane with full HP and full mana. Just have to give up the first blood to do it.
Farm at the moment in the mid lane, pretty even. Well, we do now start to have Adriano breaking ahead as he needed to do so on the Rubik. Up top, the course able to walk and get that bounty rune away from Kuro's Chen. We'll try and run him down. Mind Control has got a stun if he can get in range. Theo, what's the play here? We'll try and fog him going in and out of the pit. It doesn't look like it's going to work, though, as Liquid will kill off the Shaman. Get themselves their first kill in the game.
I'm very curious to see when Kuro's going to start airdropping in this Nyx Assassin. I think right now Morphling needs a little bit too much support, so it's not worth taking GH away. Obviously GH can come back to the lane with a TP scroll after a gank attempt, but Anti-Mage isn't really the easiest to gank. Even with the two stuns of the Hoof Stomp and the Impale, it's still very, very tricky, especially when a Shaman can interrupt everything.
We'll go for the shackles on Mind Control, but obviously with all his mana already being burnt, Leo not really doing too much damage at all, with no more mana to burn through on the Centaur, so Mind Control, it's not going to feel threatened whatsoever, especially with that extra armor that Kuro is able to hand out to him.
He's cool with this. Retaliate doesn't cost any mana, Double Edge doesn't cost any mana. All it means is that Anti-Mage is doing less damage because the mana break isn't doing anything.
Kuro would be one that's potentially easier to kill, but again with this Frost Armor and the fact that he's brought in Matuma Man, they've got to get out of there. And they will do so, time sort of wasted there for Matsu as he's brought in and nothing can be found. He leaves that lane in the middle, open up even more for Adriano to continue to have this CS advantage.
Yeah, that was kind of suspiciously timed. You'd think that with a catapult wave, then maybe that's the time to bring Viper in, but he doesn't have anything like a Bazzi, and no one really hits towers that hard yet.
And I mean, Adriano has left the lane. He's come into the jungle of Liquid, seeing what he can find. He's got the setup here, looking for Kuro. Kuro does bring in the Centaur in time. They'll try for the stun. Kuro ticking low. Fairy Fire will keep him alive. He's able to walk out of it, and Adriano has walked into a bit of a dangerous neighborhood here as Liquid will outnumber him and kill him off. Always going to be a risky play, feeling overconfident, coming in with the invis right up to that shrine. There's a lot of way for Liquid to react. Kuro bringing people in. It was always, the chance of that play being successful was very low. At best, he kills a Chen. It costs him his life tsunami, and this is the sort of the slowdown that, as we say, this Rubik cannot allow happen.
I don't blame him for going for it, though. Kuro has to read that happening 6 seconds in advance to bring in the Centaur. And the Centaur came in literally the moment that the Shaman and the Rubik started going on the Chen. So I don't even know, Kuro must have seen someone earlier because, obviously the Rubik was invis. It's a quick maneuver and unlucky for Adriano.
Mind control brought back up top, still very slow on the farm of the Centaur. Same to be said for Lelis, they do get the grab onto Kuro. Leo, it's hard for him to get close to offer any sort of right clicks with mind control by Kuro's side though. Every time he knows that mind control's just going to be able to trade back so much more damage than he can at the moment as this anti-mage.
Still all quiet in terms of the, like, I expected this Rubik to get far more abuse from this Nyx Assassin or this Chen, but it seems like right now Chen just wants to keep this anti-mage and this Shadow Shaman busy. And Nyx Assassin has mostly been busy helping out the Morphling on the bot lane, but right now it's just Miracle by himself, which he's feeling pretty safe at this stage. He's got 3 points in the attribute shift. There's no way that they can really burst him in time.
Very unlikely unless they're bringing the Shaman.
Look at this Abaddon just taking abuse.
It's a scary, scary morph to poke at between the two of them.
And now Viper migrates back up top. Willingly or unwillingly, he's going to push this.
And he's going to find Theolicor as well by the looks of it. The Viper strike slowing down, mind control runs him over. There'll be the TPs coming in from Pain. We'll see if they can catch anyone on the return. They'll get the lift onto mind control. They do manage to separate him. Another stuns out. Mind control continue to run. Leo jumps in for the attempt on this. The breaks down, and of course, as mentioned earlier, the anti-mage just unable to do anything whilst his passives are broken, so has to retreat. Cannot continue to chase Liquid down. As Liquid get the kill, it's just a support pick-off. And they also able to get out without losing anything themselves.
And that break situation is going to continue to be an issue. They've got that Nether Toxin, they've got the Vendetta coming up fairly soon as GH is level 5.5. And it's possible that once he gets that level 6 Vendetta, then you'll really see this Chen start moving around. And Kuro's been sitting on this smoke for quite a while. The mind control's not yet level 6 for Stampede, so they can't make a move on Leo. Or can they?
Well, they do get the stun set up. Not enough damage though, with Lelis there. They can try and turn mind control. We'll be able to get away though. GH Spike Purpose, again, the power of having that against this sort of uncontrollable passive procs that Lelis is just going to be letting out. Every time, GH can easily hold him back in a multitude of ways.
Pain keep having to teleport to help this anti-mage, whereas Chen is just like, you guys want to push top? You guys want to bother anti-mage? It's cool, you can go back. You have a TP scroll whenever you want to. It's just, even though it's only 50 gold, it adds up if you have to keep coming back over and over again. And you know, it's a net worth deficit because Liquid aren't having to buy that many TP scrolls.
Just 10 minutes in, 3 for 1, very close on the net worth. A lot of space being given to Miracle on this bottom now.
It's close, but this is the same. This is a different shift than what we're seeing in the previous game because at this stage, Anti-Mage was out of control. Templar Assassin was working her way to a Blink Dagger, and we don't see as giant of a lead in this game with this mid Rubik. He's falling behind both of his Liquid's counterparts.
This is bottom lane, trying to slow down the push of both Miracle and Matu. Lelis will show, he's got the phase, working on those drums, getting those early items as the Razor, so that they can cause some sort of disturbance, make sure space is there for Leo elsewhere on the map to continue to farm. Has the Demon Edge done? It's not going to be as great a timing as in game 1, but still a respectable time by the looks of it. Does of course not have the treads at the moment, is going straight to 2 Wraith Bands into the Battle Fury.
This game's the push is going to come much sooner from Liquid, though. They're not going to wait for any sort of Scotty situation. They've already got Chen stealing a siege creep as they get a shackle on Miracle.
And not nearly enough disable though to kill this Morphling, as now Miracle can turn. TP's coming in, GH is there looking for the setup with that Vendetta hit. They'll chase down this Razor. Spike Cap is once again onto the passive. They're running him down. The Arc Storm causing issues, but not enough as Lelis should fall. Liquid, they'll get one. Can they get more? They'll look towards Theo. Theo trying to hide. TPs are coming in. They have lost GH. Miracle being burst very low. They do lose Kuro, so 2 kills taken in return, but overall Liquid are the ones to get out on top of that trade. 3 kills in total, 2 of them going the way of Matumba Man as they just dive Pain underneath that tower. And Miracle gets out on minimal HP.
He gets out and the man goes down. The dude had borrowed time, but he was in the Nether Toxin break, so it didn't auto pop. He needed to cast it manually. And that's just something that that basically happens once per game, and then you're like, my finger is always going to be over that ultimate key. Another successful movement. This is what a channel allows you. You can quickly siege like that, and look at that. All of Liquid are now basically gone from the bot lane. No one's pushing it anymore. All you needed was to get in, get out. And now GH looking for more. Seeing if you can do something to Leo.
Leo's trying to bait him in under this the sentry ward. But GH not going to fall for it. As he'll continue to scout elsewhere on the map. Falling foul to the traps of Pain Gaming. Adriano in that mid has the mech done. Blink Dagger into Greaves. It's going to be the options that he wants for this mid Rubik build. As Leo just having to be careful anytime they're showing lane. In fact, immediately just moves himself down to the other half of the map. Knows that Liquid are going to be prepared to push in as they have the wards down. They see that there's 4 of Liquid top. That is the Battle Fury. Complete, I believe, out onto him. As Liquid not able to find the catch that they may want to. GH. It's very hard for them to fight around it. They have good wall coverage on their half of the map, Pain Gaming. The Sentry and Observer giving them a lot of info. See if it's enough. They're trying to get in with the Stampede. Looking to collapse on top of Adriano, but the wards are down. Pain Gaming, they may be able to get some kills. As they look towards Mind Control, a stun holds back the Abandon momentarily. They're all split up now, Liquid. Mind Control will try for the TP out. Will he make it away? He does. He's able to TP out of this. So Liquid, despite diving in underneath the ward, they do not lose Mind Control. This Matuma Man Viper still alive, playing around with 3 heroes, soon to be 4. I mean, they've got to be able to kill him, and they will be able to as Matuma Man finally goes down. So Pain at least able to find a kill out of this play.
Solid reactions on 444. He proved it in game 1 when he was protecting his anti-mage, does it again protecting his Rubik. The Nyx Assassin thought they had clean initiation by carapacing onto that stolen Nether Toxin, but very quick aphotic shield meant that they could just walk out, and Centaur was like, I guess I'll have to stampede now, but all of Pain emerged, and Liquid end up losing that Matumba Man Viper.
As we see, the anti-mage Leo, now he has the Battle Fury complete. He was still waiting on the Void Stone earlier, so it's a very quick timing. Not as quick, about a minute slower than in game 1, but he's still at the top of the net worth.
You're telling me this 0-0-0 anti-mage can't farm as quick as that?
That's true. Yeah, because I was going to say, what was he around at the 15-minute mark? He had a lot of kill involvement last time.
No, but this time he's starving, but it's still finding his way around it.
Yeah. Got 1k gold towards the treads, so timings will be there. And he should be able to keep himself ahead of the farm game as long as Pain Gaming don't get picked off too much by Liquid's heroes.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me pause is this Greaves build kind of begs the question, like, who's going to be your initiator? We saw Leo initiating a little bit too frequently in the game 1. He would jump in and immediately get Static Storm, stuff like that. And in this game, I think something similar will happen. He may end up, getting carapaced with a cleave. He may end up getting hoof stomped immediately after. So it's kind of up to Rubik, but then he's the one who's building Greaves. This is a very team-based item. This is the kind of thing that you'd want on a Razor who's very tanky and lingering around. It's just a little bit too slow, I think, for Pain to get away with it.
We'll see if he is able to make any sort of clutch saves with that burst heal in the midst of these team fights. There's going to be a lot of damage out from Liquid, and the heroes tanking up. Matuma Man, Hooded Defiance on the way. This Viper's going to be very hard to kill. We saw last time sort of 3 heroes struggle to finish him off.
Look at these siege creeps.
Some tower taken for Liquid. Nothing can be done by Pain. They do have 4 members here. The D ward, but Pain just unable to begin the fights. They cannot get a catch. Liquid get the tower. They casually walk away. And while space does continue to be there for Miracle. First ulti orb into the Skadi is complete. 1200 on top of that.
Both teams just have intense faith in their 1 positions. Pain Gaming are basically all in on the anti-mage at this point. It was already kind of true from the draft, but the Rubik hasn't been aggressive enough to become a competent damage-dealing core unless if he just steals the most valuable spells every single time, which, stealing Nether Toxin against a Viper and using it on the Viper can go a long way to making what should be a very tanky hero of the Viper seem kind of vulnerable, but at the same time it's opportunistic as Kuro.
I do get him. Able to put Kuro's dewarding mission to a stop. So just 5 for 6. The fact that this game is as close as it is, I mean, it sort of as it moves down the line, is this a game where a morph takes over, or is it the anti-mage able to stand sort of, level with the morph at all stages of the game, or do you don't really fancy sort of an AM's Hope late game carrying against a morph?
They can keep the pace, it's just that I have more faith in the Viper going late than I do the Rubik going late.
Yeah.
Pain Gaming have the Razor, which is obviously going to be very, very important, but Centaur is planning for that. He's building damage mitigation, he's got the Vanguard completing, he's working his way to that Crimson Guard, which means that all of Pain's damage, aside from the Rubik, is going to be physical, whereas Liquid, they have a variety. You've got a lot of damage coming from the Adaptive Strike, from magic damage. You've got a lot of magic damage coming from the Viper.
And Pain, they're smoked up, but as we saw, Liquid able to hit them with the scan. So nobody is going to be left sort of pushing out that bottom lane on Liquid, as they know that it's very likely that they will be jumped. A quick show in the mid lane of Leo.
Yeah, there's pings out. They see Mind Control. Picked up an Invis Rune.
Now, they've got to be careful with this anti-mage. Leo cannot afford to be caught out and run over by these movements from Liquid. As Liquid, likewise themselves, just playing as 4, making sure that Miracle is undisturbed.
They want to debut this Blink Dagger. Little do they know it's already been shown, but they're going to go in on Razor anyway.
See if they can get the catch. Stampede used, allowing them to close the gap. They're on top of Adriano. Stuns up for GH. Adriano locked in position. He has the mech. Will be able to run off. It looks like the mech will save it, as they won't lose anyone yet. 4-4-4 has borrowed time. They'll try and control Matuma. A very hard kill to get there. Of course, Matuma has to hide himself. And in the river, the stun control down onto the Razor. They're kiting him up. It'll be the denied from 4-4-4. Liquid, can they chase this down? Matsu, mech, pipe. He's ready to dive. He's got a pretty much full wand as well, as Pain Gaming have to back away from this aggression of Liquid. Mind Control tries for the jump into the trees. No one's there, but they still get the control onto Lelis. Lelis falling low. He's gone. They've lost the Razor, and Liquid, they're diving tier 1s, they're diving tier 2s. They're moving up to the tier 3s as they push back Pain. They're not even done yet. Mind Control just jumps in behind the racks to stun them up. The rest of Liquid will start to back away as 444 comes back into the game on the Abaddon. But Liquid getting aggressive, and Matuma Man looking like that he's just not going to die. This Viper is so tanky. Mind Control does manage to stun Leo up top. The rest of Liquid aren't there with a follow-up, and Leo will be able to pick up some bounty runes on the way out. They will try to continue to chase, but the blink up time is too good for Leo, as he's able to jump away. But this Viper's an issue, and it does feel that Matuma Man is just so much more of a scary beast already compared to Adriano. The sort of window where this Rubik is going to have a power spike, I don't know when it's going to come, Tsunami.
No, and Viper is pretty much instrumental in making sure that's not going to happen. I mean, we saw Rubik survive that initial engagement underneath the tier 1 tower, but again, he's not dealing damage, he's just staying alive, and that's great if you're a hero with a bunch of auras and stuff like that, and if you have your team backing you up, it's like, okay, you're soaking up all the damage, but your Razor's peppering in attacks, your anti-mage can show up, which anti-mage could not show up because he does not have a Chen on his team. Chen, and now the initiation onto Leo.
Well, immediately remove the stem of the Aphotic Shield. It's very hard for them to find that follow-up.
The reason why Chen was so popular earlier in these patches is because he basically turned all of your carries into Spectres. They can farm as far away from the fight as you want, and if you think a fight's about to start, if you're about to smoke up, you don't even need to bring your carry. Just think maybe like 6 seconds in advance, start bringing him in, and it used to be even worse. The delay was much shorter. And that's why Miracle was able to show up to that fight, whereas Anti-Mage, he was just trying to push top tier 2.
Well, Miracle trying to maybe start something here, so look towards Leo. Leo's got the Mantis Star. Will burn the majority of Miracle's banner, whilst he's in that AM form at least. And as both teams show, neither side wanting to continue the fight.
It was about to get recalled, but those illusions cancel it.
This sort of timer, it is benefiting the AM. Leo with the Battle Fury Manta, the rate that he can farm is that bit faster than Miracle's morph. Especially in a game where there's not a lot of kills, just 5 for 7 at 22 minutes. The Greaves are there, so Liquid are certainly building up towards that sort of time of the game where they can just push down lanes as for them without the morphling. And it'll be very hard for Pain to really put a stop to that pressure. Top lane Theo, he'll show himself as he goes for Hex. He's going to drop down the Serpent Wards as well. Leo actually blinking in here, looking towards Miracle. Stampede popped by Mind Control. As they'll get themselves away, Leo ending up being trapped in his own teammates' wards, as Liquid will escape.
Not a great first usage. I mean, he may have used it earlier, but none of these serpent wards are being placed near objectives. And yeah, like you said, the later the game goes, this is buying time for Anti-Mage to get that earlier 6-slot status, which it's not necessarily earlier 6-slot, but it's now initiation. On to 4-4-4, and this borrowed time, it's only going to buy you a little bit.
Kill going the way as Miracle too, as 2,700 gold towards that Eagle song. E-Blade.
The more important thing is that beyond the Anti-Mage getting time, it's Razor who's getting time. Because normally you have a mid lane Razor and you're just going crazy at this stage of the game because he's usually what the Viper is right now. He should be the mirror of the Viper, and that is a very, very tanky hero who's constantly dealing damage, and the way you itemize is going to help you keep your team alive. But Lelis was not given a mid lane farm role. He was given a side lane farm role. And so he's had to catch up, and he's starting to sync up now. 2.1k HP, he's got the drum, he picked up the Sage, he's been alternating between Sage and Yasha, but now it looks like he's got a BKB queued up, and I think that it's ideal for him to be the Viper of Pain Gaming.
Yeah, just sort of this frontal force that Pain can present in the fights.
Exactly.
Allow Leo to find the space to jump onto the easier kills that he can take out, especially with the Basher done. Leo with that Basher, Manta. If he gets on top of one of the supports, obviously getting a bash before the chances there for a spike carapace, he can kill them off.
Yeah, gladly. Not the E-Blade build that he showed last game.
Yeah, something a little more conventional from him this time around. It's GH. You can see that with the build getting scaringly close towards the Aghanim Scepter. Just 1,300 gold to go, and it's there for him. Top lane Leo, space is made. Tower's going to be taken. As now he can afford to continue to more aggressively farm on Liquid's half of the map in their jungle, with those two towers being taken off the map. So more space for Leo to continue to keep his farm game ahead of Miracle's Morphling.
And they are backing far off of the Centaur. And he takes it. Double damage rune Morphling emerges from the trees, and Pain Gaming now need to do something about this Roche.
They really do. But it's hard that with the timings that Liquid have with their items on their cores, it's like, who do you jump? Which core is killable? Matu, Miracle, and Mind Control all incredibly tanky at the moment. And very elusive. These heroes are not easy to kill for Pain Gaming's lineup. They'll get the Roche. Just got away, and Miracle's able to grab it. Bit of split push pressure comes in, and that will allow Pain Gaming, by the looks of it, to finish off the tier 3 tower. So they'll take the trade.
Great carapace by GH. He did it basically right as the Roche was dying. He carapaced the stolen nether toxin, so just in case there was some initiation, your Rubik was going to be useless for a few seconds. And so they do go for the trade, and again, both teams, one fight can very, very quickly make it go one way or the other. In the previous game, basically Pain had to mess up one fight for it to finally start going Liquid way. But right now, either team, like once you get the initiation, if you can kill off this Viper very quickly, or if you can kill off this Razor very quickly, then the rest of the team fight will just fall like dominoes. But right now, no team is making strong initiations. They're just kind of, dancing with each other.
We've got big items coming out though. The E-Blade done for Miracle's Morph. We have as well Adriano finishing the Spirit Vessel on top of the Greaves, so a bit of an extra factor to throw into these fights to help deal with these heroes with that boosted regen that they've got going. And definitely, as we sort of touched upon earlier, Leo going for a much more agreeable build on his anti-mage. The Basher, and now into that BKB, so that he can come to these fights with the C-Blade Morphling and not worry about just being deleted. As the BKB very, very close for him. GH has got eyes on him, but Leo already up to the high ground, so he should be able to finish that before they are forced to fight. And that BKB jumping to Basher, he gets a kill, but actually he walks up. He gets stunned by the Centaurs, but lucky enough to have 4-4-4 by his side, so will not be chain locked down.
And he's still hanging around. Liquid's like, does this dude have his team behind him or something? And just immediately starts going down mid, and the rest of Liquid are like, Pain's hiding around here somewhere, right?
I mean, Leo's splitting them up nicely. Yeah, there's pressure on for tier 2. Mind Control comes in. There's a sweet man to dodge. Leo's out. They go for the Hex on Mind Control, but with the extra backup of Matuma coming in. Pain are trying to get out of there. Stampede Jews, they're on the chase. Adriano holds back the Centaur with the telekinesis. Him and Theolacor are looking to be the ones left behind. Theolacor will give up his life. Gives the space, though, for Adriano to successfully get out. Back on this top lane, Miracle trying for the split push. Kuro, he'll go down. A hand of gold won't save himself. So support for support. Both teams still very much, as you say, they don't want to fight head to head.
Where the team fights at?
Yeah, it's all about the split pushing, the reacting to one another, seeing who's sort of going to be playing chicken first, who's going to jump. BKB is now done, though, for this Leo anti-mage. So I feel very much so that Pain Gaming, they can look to take the fight. So if BKB jumps in on a support, if they don't have Stampede, he can get these kills, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I've been thinking that in my mind, like every time there's a major pickup, like a team fight on, like the Pipe is picked up and the Greaves are picked up by the Viper, the Crimson Guard was picked up by the Mind Control Centaur, E-Blade's picked up by Morphling. Everyone has all this net worth that they're just waiting to flex with, but neither team wants to make the first move. And I mean, it's not like you need to make a stupid first move. It's more like neither team is giving the other team an opening.
And just a game where it's been so close the entirety of the game. It feels like we've just hovered around this 1K difference between the two teams. The difference hasn't been huge throughout.
It's rare that you'll see a net worth advantage be this consistent for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, obviously the big difference in situations for both teams is that Pain, they do have the majority of that farm on the anti-mage.
Yes.
Whereas obviously with Liquid, it's split much more evenly between their 3 cores.
It's very, very top heavy. And that just makes the game that much more important for this anti-mage. I'm glad he went for the BKB because oftentimes, you know, if you're not team fighting, then as an anti-mage, you're like, I don't need a BKB. You know, if we're never going to fight, BKB doesn't make me farm faster. But he learned his lesson from last game. One slip up and it's game over. So this time he's planning himself a little bit better, and now they're starting to take care of these shrines as a product of that Shaman split pushing that top tier 3 earlier.
And it is pretty hard to kill it, as long as he has the back of a 4-4-4 behind him. You know, if he does get jumped, Aphotic Shield, BKB, like Liquid shouldn't be able to kill this anti-mage unless Pain makes some colossal mistakes. He's going to walk into the base, drops down the Serpent Wards immediately, will die for that. I mean, they'll get a few hits onto the racks, but Liquid are able to farm those Serpent Wards straight up. So a little hasty there with the placement of those by Thea, as it will not get anything really done for Pain Gaming as a side. Stampede, they've got their eyes on Lelis. Lelis, he's out alone. There is no backup here for the Razor as Liquid just converge on top of him. The kill's there for Miracle. And these are the sort of misplays that Pain can't allow to have. As Liquid, they'll do the most of those. Leo is still around here. Doesn't have the BKB, so it's a hard chase for Liquid. They want to try and go for him.
This is how it starts, Owen. This is where it starts sliding out of control if they're not careful. Wow, Leo just
BKB CP's out. I mean, it does allow him to clean up that creep wave.
There's still one lone melee creep going, but I don't think that they're gonna push with it. It's only a matter of time. I don't really see an urgency for either team, because it's all about if you can find a good initiation. If you can't find it, then just keep farming up both of your cores. Yeah, it kind of sucks that you had to blow a 10-second BKB on the anti-mage, but it's only a 2K net worth advantage for Liquid until you can find some good vision, which I think the Nyx Assassin is the most important thing for Liquid, because like you see how many Radiant Sentry Wards there are on the map. These supports are broke because they have to be constantly so aware of this GH Nyx Assassin, and he's providing vision everywhere also. So not only is he forcing the enemy supports to spend a lot of money, he's saving his team a lot of money because they don't have to buy as many wards, they don't have to go as deep to place them. He's just a mobile observer ward. You know, with an Aghanim Scepter, no big deal.
It just seems so hard as well for Pain to kill Matuma Man. He's got a Shiva's Guard finish as well on this Viper. Like Matuma Man, he is not dying this game. He's not going to die.
I mean, we saw that highlight earlier in day 1, I think, where Matuma Man basically stayed at a 10th HP for, I believe the highlight reel was showing like 65 seconds, and it was basically the same build. In fact, I don't even know if he had the Shivas at that point, but this is like Liquid like Viper. A lot of teams have passed on Viper. Like I said, Liquid the only team to pick it in this tournament thus far. And you're hard-pressed to find a reason why it's not a great hero. He won his lane, he's a great hero to carry all these auras, and he's not going to be easy to kill no matter how late this goes.
Miracle. He's Got the butterfly, the farm just continues. GH getting the spike out and fuck onto the two of them. It will zip forward, look at Vanellis. BKB comes out, they do get the hex onto Miracle, but mind control jumps in onto the Shaman. Stampede uses Leo trying to get in, but with the Crimson Guard, it's so hard for him to do any damage at all to anybody. Mind control does get separated from the rest of the team as they look towards him, but Miracle slides in, nukes down the Shaman, turns towards Nellis. There'll be a buyback coming up from Theo Course. He'll try and return to the fight. They have managed to get Kura on the back lines. 4-4-4 trying to keep his hands onto Miracle for the second one down, a third one as well. Triple kill for Miracle. They're losing Leo's left line center, but they have got that kill on mind control. Can they get anything more? Leo pops the BKB, looks towards GH, but the Viper's tried from Matthew through that magic immunity is down on Leo. He cannot fight on. Miracle gets the ultra. Pain, they've got to get out of there. This is not a fight that they could turn up to, as Miracle has hit scary, scary proportions as this morph, as he could just enter these fights, and there's no lot they could do about him with that E-Blade and Butterfly. He has a lot of agi. Leo does get the jump with the Basher, but it's not enough, not nearly enough. They don't have control, they don't have the damage once Miracle's mana has been drained. He can just stand there with Matu by his side. Liquid can push on. There's 3 dead on Pain Gaming.
This initiation by Nyx Assassin is so effortless. Whereas to disengage from Pain, they have to put so much effort. Rubik has to steal Stampede. You got to deal with the Centaur with a ton of HP. Then once you finally think you've gotten rid of all these spells, in comes Morphling, starts shotgunning people before your eyes.
Leo actually blinking into this. Lelis is going to leap forward. BKB's popped. Get the static link off to Matumba, but he has to back away now. Miracle zips in, looks towards Leo. Leo, another shield there from Adria, from 4-4-4, but he's gone. Nuke down. Liquid, they kill him off. He's got to buy back. They've got to get back in on this one. This fight around their tier 3. Can they get anything happen? They get the shackle. They've got the control. They've got Miracle. Miracle's dead. They'll kill off the morph. They need more though. They're looking for Matsu. They've used a fair few buybacks over the last minute playing gaming. What else can they get? Leo's trying to chase down Kura. Matsu, he's out of mana. He's still got a lot of HP to work off. They've got the shackles. Lelis stealing a lot of damage with the static link. Mind control jumping in. They'll turn back towards Leo. Spell shield pop. Lelis will kill off the Nyx Assassin. But here's the buybacks. Liquid know that Pain themselves, they don't have the buybacks really on the big cause. So Liquid, what can they do with their own buybacks? They brought back Miracle buying back. Doesn't look like they're actually going to push straight back into the base. So at the least Pain Gaming are able to push back Liquid's attempts. And especially with Liquid expending on those buybacks, it does bring the net worth difference back down to a more manageable place for Pain.
Yeah, Anti-Mage buys back, and the Morphling and Nyx Assassin buy back. And it's kind of understandable on Liquid. You've got a Chen who can bring you in, but...
Adriano steps forward, the shield already being used upon him. Miracle zips in with the waveform, that's the Ruby gone. Lelis BKB's back, a bit pop it, wards it down, but Miracle jumps in, kills off the other core. They'll look back towards Lelis as the BKB is shortly going to end. He'll try for the TP out, but the BKB's already ended, so they can cancel it. 3 heroes down on Pain Gaming, another double kill for Miracle. As Liquid, they'll chase on. Miracle inside of the anime blinks in. They'll get the TP cancel with the adaptive strike. 4-4-4 stuck in the trees. Leo BKB pop, he has to run. Only 2 left alive on Pain. The 3 that do not have buybacks. Triple kill for Miracle. Another kill for his more 13-1-3 this game, as they'll be back up to the high ground. 4-4-4 does have a buyback, but these fights just looking to get increasingly harder and harder for Pain Gaming to hold against Liquid. With these items that they have, with these heroes that they have, Pain, they just cannot get the big crucial kills.
They can't get the big crucial kills. They can't even start the fights properly. Every single time, it's always this Nyx Assassin just carapacing from a distance, and no one really knows, like, how do we start a fight? Your Shaman doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Your Rubik has one, but again, like, he's a very important core to keep alive with his Spirit Vessel and his Guardian Greaves, and now the Rax is...
I mean, look at that army of Siege Creeps the Kura's bringing in. So much Siege potential, and makes quick works of 2 sets of Rax. As Liquid now well up in advantage. Pain Gaming just haven't really been able to do anything this game with that level lead, so that level place that they were at. They put a lot on the anti-mage. They do lose Kuro. Leo's able to get that pick off, but so much weight is on Leo's shoulders, particularly when they're running this lineup with that mid Rubik. It really has. It was gone far past that point where there's not a lot that Adriano can offer to the fight.
And now he needs to be so careful, because if he dies, it's game over. He does not have buyback. He spent it earlier in that defense. And the same is true for the Morphling, but Liquid still has 2 Raxes, and their top Rax hasn't been damaged at all, just very, very slightly, so it's not like Pain can quickly turn this game around instantly. It's going to take at least 2 fights at the minimum.
Leo's innies. And those siege creeps. It'd be pretty nice if he's able to take those away from Kurt. That isn't going to be the case. They'll look towards Roche instead. Serpent Wards drop down immediately. They need to get this. But Liquid sure as hell aren't going to let them. They're heading towards the pit. Jump in. Leo immediately pops the BKB. They look towards GH. GH has tried to pull off. Spike Cap has popped as well. They cannot kill him quick enough. They've lost their Shaman. Lilith pops the BKB. Miracle as well. Moving in onto 444. The borrow time is going to wear off. That's the Abaddon gone. Double kill for Miracle. Stun controls there from Nightcrawler. GH. Leo does still manage to blink away, but they lose 2. Roshan still standing. Liquid moves up to Adriano, a 3rd hero dead once again on Pain Gaming. Leo's trying to chase something, trying to chase Kuro and his army of siege creeps. He'll kill a couple of the siege creeps. Can he get Kuro? A mana void on a target with full mana. Won't do a lot, but he does still get the kill. As Kuro gone, but again, just the outnumber here from Liquid. They have more than enough space to allow Miracle to finish off Roshan, get the Aegis. They're going to be pushing in again. They'll have the Shaman and Abaddon back up in less than 20 seconds, but Adriano's still dead for 40. As Liquid now head straight to the tier 4s. Pain Gaming, they've got one more chance at a hold here, but it's a very small chance, Tsunami.
Leo's gonna have to pull off. I'm not even gonna bother. They can't do this. It's too far gone.
It looks to be Leo's going to try jumping in with the BKB, looking to GH, but GH put up, he's just so tanky. They cannot kill any of these crews. They cannot kill the supports. Lilith will buy back, but they're onto the Ancient. Liquid. Pain Gaming, can they really push back Liquid? Miracle just popping the BKB, zips in, double kill again for him. Pain struggling to be able to leave the base. The Ancient falling. Pain, can they do this? BKB from Lilith, moving in. Leo goes for the back rise, trying for mind control, but he's got so much HP, he's impossible to kill. Mind control comes back in with a stun. There will be a shackle onto mind control. Leo with the Manta will begin to burn the mana on Miracle, but Natsu, he's focusing the Ancient, so is mind control. They're looking to close this game up, move on in the tournament. Leo trying for Miracle, but the Ancient is going. GG is caught, and Liquid will take the game, take the series 2-0, as Pain Gaming putting a lot of pressure on their anti-mage Leo.